to e-learning platform, GSS 3 class to be precise, and the subject social studies. My name is Mr. Isidaome Pomosa. I'm taking you on the subtopic this morning titled Advantages of the Types of Transportation. Remember, before this class, before now, we talked about transportation. And what is transportation? We said transportation can be seen as the movement of goods, passengers, services from one spot toward another, from one location toward another, from one region toward another region. And we also discovered during this means of transportation that we have numbers of forms in terms of the means, looking at the human portrait, the animal portrait. Using, when you talk about animal portrait, they use animal to carry goods from one location to another. Human beings use their bare foot to trek from one location to another. Please listen attentively. And we now also discovered that was part of the olden days. Olden days means of what? Transportation. Then when we talk about the modern days, we also discovered that the development of bicycle, motorcycle, vehicle, cars was also innovated as inventions for modern means of transportation. And the first man to have ever drove or owned a car in Nigeria was Herbert Macaulay. Don't forget that. So we are trying to take a recap of what we were told in the last class. Now today we are looking at advantages of this means of transportation. Like we have on the chalk or the whiteboard, number one, like advantages of road transportation. Road transportation. We say number one, that it is flexible over other media of transport. It is flexible over other media of transport. What are we talking about? That through the help of road transport, we are able to move door to door to carry out activities to a doorsteps of what? Individual family. And again, we have number two, that it serves as a great local need. It serves as a great local need with the presence of passengers, the cars, the buses, to name but few. That is why it's referred to as what? Local need. It serves as a great local need with the presence of this listed statement or word I've just placed for you, like buses, the private cars, the passengers, etc. So, as a result of this availability of this listed sentence or statement or word, you now discover that it's also a transport, road transportation. Now, number three is faster than rail transport. Road transport is faster than rail transport. Four, it has the advantage of directness in communication, which means when we talk about that, it keeps them in touch, in the sense that from the producers to the consumers, with the aid of transportation, specifically road transport, there is directness and communication between the producers and the consumer. What aid them? Road transportation. And another subject again we have is advantages of air transportation. Advantages of air transportation. I will say number one, that it aids the national and international travels. Yes, air transportation. The use of plane, talking about flight, using international airport, Edo State Airport as a case study. So it aids both national and international travels. When you say national, within the country. When you say international, across border, has got boundaries. International. It could be from Nigeria to United States of America, London, known as Britain, and other parts of the world, across the globe. It aids the national and international travels. Two, it is the fastest means of transportation. Yes, it is the fastest means of transportation. What do I mean? If I should go by road transport from here to Lagos, it might take me 3 or 4 hours, or from here to Abuja, 3 to 5 hours, as the case may be. But if I'm using what? flight, talking about air transport, which I know you do, it takes about 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, as the case may be. You now discover that that is why it's regarded as the fastest means of what? Transportation. Number 3, it is the most comfortable means of transportation. It is the most comfortable means of transportation, very comfortable. Then 4, it is used to carry a lot of people at the same time with their luggages, with their properties, most often with their portable properties. So it is used to carry a lot of people at the same time. E.g., I use the word pilgrims to Mecca in Jerusalem. You discover that in Jerusalem they call Holy Land. So it aids for the transportation of a lot of people from Nigeria to Mecca, Jerusalem, called a Holy Land. Then again, we have the last subheading with us, talking about the advantages of water transportation. Advantages of water transportation. What are the advantages of water transportation? Number 1, money is not spent on the construction of waterways. It's natural. The water bodies, talking about rivers, the stream, the sea, the Pacific or ocean, we are saying that money is not spent on the construction of waterways. 2, it is the cheapest means of transportation. Yes, it is the cheapest means of what? Transportation. Then 3, it is used for conveying bulky goods from one place or continent to what? Another. Look at this. It is used for conveying bulky goods. When I say bulky goods, it means they are much, large quantities. Bulky goods from one place to or continent to what? Another. Let me announce or say to you that when you talk about advantages, anytime advantages also have disadvantages. That disadvantages will come up in our next class. And having said this, remember, take note of the practice exercise. And what are the practice exercises you have here? Number 1, state the brief history of the type of transportation. Yes, state the brief history of the types of transportation. 2, mention the advantages of each type of transportation. Mention the advantages of each type of transportation. Number 3, though not stated, add this to it. State 5 each disadvantages of transportation. Of which type each? Talking about road transportation, talking about what? Water transportation, talking about what? Rail transportation, air transportation. Listen to me. State the disadvantages, 5 each of each type of what? Those set of transportation. Thank you. We'll meet again in our next class.